This is the journey to One Africa.
Everybody, this is Mika and welcome back to SNOA. If you're new to this family, please subscribe, turn on the notification button. You can follow and like the videos we share. It helps us reach out to many people out there. But also feel free to support through the links in the description. Guys, we have latest on Tanzania. And Tanzania arrests opposition leaders ahead of the protests. Tanzania has arrested leaders from the main opposition party, Chadema, ahead of planned protests. These actions were taken to prevent the demonstrations, which were deemed illegal by the police. Among those arrested are prominent figures like Freeman Boy and Tundu Lissu, with reports highlighting that Lissu was taken from his home in a significant show of force. The protests were intended to address issues like political abductions and murders, as well as the challenge what the opposition perceives as the backsliding on political reforms promised by President Samia Suluhu Hassan. Despite Hassan's area moves towards liberalization political space, such as lifting a ban on opposition gathering, this recent arrest suggests a tightening of control or a response to what the government might see as a threat to stability. The sentiment of different people over the state of democracy in Tanzania, with users and news outlets reporting on the arrest and expressing worry that this could indicate a return to more repressive governance similar to that under President John Pombe Magufuli. The crackdown has been criticized for potentially escalating tensions rather than de-escalating them, as noted by some commentators on the platform. This situation underscores the ongoing political tension in Tanzania as the country approaches significant election, with the opposition pushing for greater democratic freedoms and governance accountability, while the administration seek to maintain order and control over political activities. Alright guys, these are the current updates on Tanzania. Tanzania is actually heading towards election this year and also next year. This election, they're starting with a small election. I think it's a district and regional election, and the next year it will be the main election. But so there've been a lot of tension happening in Tanzania. You know, for a couple months right now, there've been people who have been some way abducted, kidnapped by by people who nobody knows about. And recently the very big incident happened. One of the old men from the opposition party who was also taken, you know, like in the broad light day, and you know, and then a few days later he was found dead, really tortured and killed very severely. And that raised a lot of concerns. Apart from that, there's a lot of people who have been actually kidnapped. It's more than a month right now. They can be found nowhere. And most of them are from the opposition party. So the opposition party, Chadema, actually raised this concern and prepared the demonstration in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania on 23rd, meaning today from 9 a.m. in the morning. But prior to that, you know, the president, Samia, she you know, released her speech and expressed her concern about all these things that are happening, and addressed to the nation and to the people in a way. And police called out these demonstrations illegal and not allowed for anyone to demonstrate. And why is that? Because they said there's a concern on security, that there's some statements that have been spoken by the leaders that it shows that there will be destabilization of the country, or in a way, like, you know, taking advantage of the peace that Tanzania has. So they announced that nobody's allowed to demonstrate. However, at the same time, the leaders of the opposition, they addressed to the government that you guys, you cannot allow us not to mourn. We lost our people, our brothers and sisters, and some of them we don't see them until today. Some of them we've already buried them on the ground. This is the pain we are going through. And this is the way that we want to express. This is going to be peaceful protest, but it's a peaceful protest to ask the government and to ask Tanzania to stop killing our people and also kidnapping them, because it has been severe in the recent days. The response from the government, of course, the president, she made up the special task team to actually investigate what is really happening. But the concern from the opposition party is that these first special tasks have been made, you know, for very long, many years ago, but they usually don't come with the concrete feedback or result on whatever that is happening in the nation. So in that way, you know, they say, you know what, we're not going to bow down this time. We're going to have to demonstrate and raise our voice for you guys to hear and the whole world to hear. So earlier today, I mean, for a couple of days right now, there have been police all over the city of Dar es Salaam actually checking out the peace of the country and of the region. And today, early in the morning, you know, they went to exactly where Chadema planned to start demonstrating. And there were a lot of police with guns and with the water tanks and all those stuff. And as a result, you know, a lot of people did not show up, actually. Did not show up because, you know, if you see police on the street and whatever, it's very normal reaction to be scared of what will happen. So in a way, people, they wanted to show up, of course, especially from the opposition party, but they were not able to show up because of the threats and seeing what the state of the place is. But eventually the leader of the opposition party, Freeman Mbowe, he showed up, him and his daughter, but he was taken by the police right away to the station to be questioned. And his daughter as well was taken. But also another opposition leader, as I mentioned, that Lisu, he was also, they went early in the morning before the demonstration time to his house, and they took him for questions. And some other leaders like God Bless Lema from the opposition party were also taken to be questioned. So for those who do not know what is happening, that is the state of the country in Tanzania and what is happening. There have been a lot of tension, and there have been increasing of a lot of events happening, and especially people being kidnapped by nobody knows who those people are kidnapping them, and some of them being found dead, and some of them until right now they are not yet found. So this is the situation, and this is what is happening in the country. You know, one thing that I would say, I would love to hear your opinion, guys, for everybody who is watching here and listening. The opinion from your yourself, and make sure to get to know the details of what is happening. What I'm sharing with you guys right now is exactly what is happening. I think after the speech of the president, it actually raised a lot of questions from the opposition leaders, based on what she was saying. But one of the statements that she said, it was for other nations, other countries not to interfere, the interests of Tanzania not to interfere, because this is the sovereign country. You cannot interfere. You cannot ask us or demand us to do anything, because we are a sovereign country. We are governed by the laws and regulations, so nobody can interfere, which I completely agree with that, because no one should interfere with what is happening in the country. But at the same time, I think it is important, especially for the government and specifically police, to give basically hands out, or to give a concrete information on what is happening with our people, because Tanzania is considered to be one of the very highly intelligence country in Africa. Actually, that's one of the reasons why Tanzania has been in a very peaceful manner for a long time. Not because there's no people who are threatened for war, or there's no all those threats, but because the intelligence of Tanzania, of the country, is really big. So that means anyone who can do anything illegal can easily be found. It's not something that it has take a year or a couple of years to find. No, because we have that high intelligence here, it is easy to be found. But on the contrary, those people haven't been found. People have been walking away with some, illegal activities, and that is what raised a lot of concern in the opposition party. But it's very important to acknowledge that when President Samia came to regime, there were no gathering that were allowed for opposition party for a couple of years back then. But when she came, she wanted to reform everything, and she has a policy of I think it's 4R, if I'm not mistaken, and one of them is reformation. So she wanted to bring peace and to bring unity between opposition and the main party, which is called CCM. And that it actually worked out for some time, because opposition started to carry on with their protests, they carry on with their crusades, and it was just going well, right? Because everybody was given a chance to speak. But recently that has not been the case, and therefore people, they have a lot of things to say, they have a lot of things to actually suggest, but they can't. They're also mourning because of their beloved one who have been lost, or who have been killed, tortured, but they haven't been having a chance to mourn or to do anything, but also, so if you look on this situation in both perspectives, you can understand, because that is the most important thing, to look from the both perspective. So for instance, according to the government, is that if these protests were announced really peaceful without anything behind the scene, because what they say is, they say that there's a more plan to destabilize the peace of the country. And because of that, the police actually released a statement. They said one of the reasons why they had to stop this protest from happening, it is because, if they let it happen and then the peace of Tanzania will be jeopardized, then they're not doing their job. Their job is to sense and to detect anything that it can ruin the peace of the country and stop it from happening. That's what they said. And where did they find this threat to the peace? It's because of the meeting that was carried out prior to this protest, and they found some things that we don't really know in clear, but they found some things or some word that was spoken that did not show that there will be a peaceful thing, even though the opposition leaders have been standing out and be like, hey, we've been protesting for a long time, we've never been violent, we've always been peacefully protesting, so why this time we are being stopped while we are mourning our people who died? So guys, anyways, you guys let me know in the comment section. If I have some Tanzanians, I'd love to know your opinion. If I have some Africans who are catching up with what is happening in Tanzania, let me know what you're thinking. And everybody, it's time for you guys to share your opinion. But I wish all the best for Tanzania, peace and security for this beautiful country. I appreciate, guys. I love you. See you very soon.